Well, welcome back here to Lexington Catholic High School. William Warfield alongside the coach, Lee DeForest, and we're going to have Dunbar taking on John Hardin this time, Coach. Dunbar going to be the visiting team here as Coach Scott Chalk and his Dunbar Bulldogs going to go one-on-one here with the Bulldogs from John Hardin over there around the Elizabethtown.
I'm so excited for this game. You got two great teams, two great coaches, great players. The gym's starting to fill up now. It's going to be an exciting night of basketball here.
This is almost like a home game for Dunbar, just down the street. You know, not that far. You go down to Clay's Mill, take a right on Man of War, and you're pretty much there. Lewis, Dontel Brown. Hollingsworth. Justin Kelly. And the big guy here that's been pretty impressive, Darius Williams. He's one of my favorite Bulldogs for Dunbar.
Yeah, he's one of the best players in the 11th region. I had a chance to see him this summer in the AAU circuit, and he's a heck of a player. Excited to see him play tonight.
Well, you know, a lot of people are excited to see this Hollingsworth kid, too, big D1 prospect. But so is this young man just introduced there.
Yeah, both teams have talent. Both teams are well coached. You couldn't ask for a better game in this tournament. And you know, I'm excited to be here with you, William. Can't coach anymore, I guess, so I gotta go to my other options here. Maybe I can broadcast. So.
Well, I know you're doing a little bit of the broadcasting, but you also got a book that you're doing work on, and then a DVD with Jared Polson.
Yeah, we're putting out. We're going to put out a DVD, a individual workout DVD, and then also, I appreciate you mentioning that. I do have a blog, basketballinsight.com. We have a bunch of different coaches from around the country that contribute blog posts about whatever topic they feel like. Try to keep it updated. We have about 5 or 6 new posts a week, and just different topics. So it's a place for coaches and players, and look forward to seeing this game, see what I can figure out, maybe learn something from these two great coaches, great teams. Excited to get it started here, William.
Well, here we go. Dunbar taking on John Hardin. Bulldogs versus Bulldogs, and the tip is going to be won by John Hardin. John Hardin, the home team. They're in the white and the red. Dunbar in the black and the red. And John Hardin going up against the number 3 team in the state, according to the latest rankings that just came out. In the Dunbar Bulldogs. John Hardin's in the top 25 too, by the way.
Yeah, hard man-to-man defense here by Dunbar. Scott Chalk's done it forever, and opening up. They're really trying to lock them up here in this first possession.
John Hardin having a tough time. They finally make it inside the paint, going along the baseline, and then it was a jump ball called. Dunbar able to tie it up.
Great possession for Dunbar.
Here comes the Dunbar Bulldogs. They're going to attack right at John Hardin. And we got a foul already called. You might see a lot of fouls in this one, Coach.
Well, if you tuned in last game, you can already see the pace of this game. It's going to be a little bit different. Both teams aggressive man-to-man, full court man. And you see what Dunbar did is they just opened up the post and gave him a driving lane, and they got fouled. So nice play.
Second free throw good. And Dunbar with a 2-0 lead. And they gave the points to the home team up on the scoreboard, and that should have gone to the visitors team. So they'll get that corrected. They'll update ours, and I think they just did. So that jump shot off the glass, good. Here comes Dunbar. Miller with that shot there for John Hardin, by the way. Dunbar misses on the other end. Oh, we had somebody go down hard. Back the other way. He's back up, though. He's okay.
Yeah, that rattled the floor there. They both went up for the rebound. He got knocked out a little bit in the air there.
Lewis, maybe? Mm-hmm. John Hardin with the basketball now as they're playing half court here against Dunbar. Screen out top. Wild pass and almost goes out of bounds. We got a timeout called here by the Bulldogs of John Hardin. We're all tied up 2-all. William Warfield alongside the coach, Lee DeForest.
Well, you got Dunbar coming out in that man-to-man defense, just taking them totally out. Dunbar a little bit out of their game, a little bit passive. I don't anticipate Dunbar will stay that. I'm sorry that John Hardin will stay that way. Coach called timeout here early, try to light a fire on them, get that aggression back, and this is going to be an exciting game here, William. Both teams are going to be getting after it, pressure man-to-man. Players are going to have to step up and make plays.
John Hardin to have the basketball here at half court. So they do get the ball in play here. You're watching in high definition here on PrepSpin.com. Gary Ball will have the next game for you. Layup, easy.
Nice timeout, Coach.
Yeah, that was Pierce with the basket there for John Hardin. Hollingsworth, a little floater, no good. Pierce with the rebound. Here comes the Bulldogs of John Hardin back the other way. Well, they're quick inside the paint. Double pump, no good. Rebound cleared off by the Bulldogs of Dunbar. Williams with the basketball. Williams will have it up top. He goes to his right after the crossover dribble, taking on the big guy Pierce, and draws the foul. Jacoby Smith is going to pick up the foul. Sorry, Coach.
No, I'm just saying that was a nice take by Williams early.
Well, here's Williams going to inbound the ball. It's up top here. Dunbar with the basketball. Dunbar out of Lexington, Kentucky. John Hardin over around Elizabethtown. Jump shot no good. Rebound Williams put back up and in. That's why he's also a D1 prospect. You got 3 of them on Dunbar, and Williams, Lewis, and Hollingsworth. The big 3 for Dunbar.
A double high ball screen there. You don't see that very often in high school, and able to draw the foul there. But they're trying to do something to clear up the driving lanes for the guards, and that's one way to do it is with ball screens. John Hardin's trying to create an angle to get to the basket against this tough Dunbar defense.
4-all our score. John Hardin with it. Pierce got it. He's going to go with the left-hand dribble. That might have been a walk he got away with there. As Dunbar comes down with the rebound, that was Hollingworth that came down with it. Gets ahead there to Lewis. Lewis lays it up and in. Lewis doing big things for the Bulldogs this year. Lewis, a senior. Hollingsworth, a senior. 3 on the way. That one good.
That play is as old as basketball, and it still works. You saw it last game and this game too.
That was Miller with that one. He dropped it from downtown. Hollingsworth with it out top here for Dunbar. Goes with a left-hand dribble. Comes back with a right underneath the basket and draws the foul. That's, they call him the cut creator over there at Dunbar because of things like that. Now, normally back in the day when I was talking about the cut creator, now that was LL Cool J's DJ, the cut creator. But Hollingsworth is the new version of the cut creator. He does it on the basketball court.
Well, you can see that was he just isolated, went to the basket, made a dribble move. Dunbar's got some nice guards. They're hard to keep out of the lane.
Here comes John Hardin. 8-7 our score. Dunbar with the lead. Got a lot of big celebrities here in the building tonight. Here comes the Bulldogs of Dunbar after John Hardin missed it. And that 3 is good. Darius Williams.
You better find him and have a hand up,
well,
William.
He was my pick to click before the game started. If you remember our conversation, Coach, I said he's going to have a big game.
Great players usually do when they need it the most. That was a heck of a shot.
Well, he matches up well against John Hardin. I like the matchup. There's a strip there. Hollingsworth came down off his vertical leap and came down with the basketball as he slapped it out of the hand. That was kind of like what you said in the last game, kind of came down and smacked down, Coach.
Yep. Usually that's a foul, but there he got all ball.
Back the other way. Pierce couldn't handle it. He saw the hoop, but lost the ball in the process. 11-7 right now. It's Dunbar, the Bulldogs out of Lexington, Kentucky, with the lead.
Yeah, the Bulldogs' pace right now is really attacking. They're going downhill on drives, and then their pressure's taking John Hardin out of what they want to do right now.
All out top for Dunbar. Williams with it. Williams goes to his right, comes back with his left on the scoop. He's got more scoops than Baskin-Robbins, Coach.
You know, what do you do with him? You know, he takes off. He can drive around your slow guys, and he shoots over your little guys. I mean, tough.
At three, no good. Dunbar clears down the rebound. Here comes the Bulldogs again. Lewis with the basketball. Gives it back up to Williams. Williams going to drive right through the paint. Layup was a little hard, high off the glass, and John Hardin comes down with the rebound. Here comes the Bulldogs of John Hardin.
Man, I love his game. I'd love to see him jump stop there and go up strong.
Three on the way. Three short. Williams with the rebound. Darius Williams, superstar. Gives it over to Hollingsworth, the cut creator, who swings it over to Lewis on the right side. Lewis with a nice look inside here. Ball being worked around real good right now, and taken away, though, John Hardin on the defense. All the way back on the other end. Too hard on the floater. And here comes Dunbar. Hollingsworth. He went right out to the rim. And that might be the second foul against Pierce. Let's see. Nope. They're going to give it on Miller. They're going to say Miller got it.
Hey, William, any game you watch from now until the end of the year, if you have a team that comes down and misses a layup, watch how many times the other team is able to get that rebound and push the other way, either to score or foul. It happens so often. If you don't make layups on one end, the other team turns it into transition points, and it happens all the time, and it just happened twice already in the first quarter here.
That free throw, good. 15-7, it's Paul Lawrence Dunbar, a school known for cheerleading. They've been on MTV and all those other big networks. A lot of national championships over there in the cheerleading, and of course they've had some good basketball programs over the years. I think they're okay in football here in their tenure as a school. They've certainly had some really good teams over the years, but they're trying to get known as for basketball a little bit more here this year.
Yeah, they have to finish these shots in the paint. They're getting good looks, 2 or 3 feet. They just have to put them in the basket.
John Hardin, now a lot of people say they're a football school. I agree with that. Here comes the Bulldogs of Dunbar. And bodies hit the floor just like the song. Let the bodies hit the floor.
Nice call out there on the song, but both these teams are playing so hard right now. You can see substitutions being run in and out for both teams. Be interesting to see how Dunbar performs here in the half court. Hardin's got to get a stop here and try to get something going on the other end.
Dunbar thought about the three. They swing it back out top. Lewis with the basketball.
An aggressive 2-3 zone here by Hardin.
Spin around, a little hook shot. Left a little short there for Dunbar. John Hardin back the other way. We got anybody you want to send a shout out to, Coach?
Well, I'm going to give a shout out here. You see they ran America's play early in the game to get their three, the only three they've hit this quarter. They tried it again. Dunbar did a much better job. And, it's going to be interesting to see what Hardin does against this pressure. Just John Hardin has him sped up. You see that turnover all caused by Hardin's tremendous ball pressure.
Dunbar have it back. That was Dunbar's ball pressure there, Coach.
Oh, yeah.
And John Hardin just double dribbled again, turning the ball over once again here to Dunbar. 15-7 our score. 29 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. It's Dunbar and John Hardin, 15-7. Gary Ball, he'll have the next game between Lexington Catholic coming up. Who's Catholic playing, by the way? Is it Look on there and see if we know. Lexington Catholic coming up next. We know that. In the nightcap, we know it's Henry Clay and Trinity. That was a bank off the glass. A three-point basket, good.
Oh, I've got it right here, Coach. Lexington Catholic's going to be playing Holy Cross.
Holy Cross, that's who it was. Yeah, I knew who it was, but then I didn't.
I'm not happy with my teeth. They're not straight enough.
Let me fix them for you.
No. You are not White, Greer, and Maggard.
I'm sort of like White, Greer, and Maggard. I'm local, love smiles, love to fix things.
No.
Sorta you isn't you. White, Greer, and Maggard, where a beautiful smile is just the beginning.
Back here at Lexington Catholic High School, William Warfield alongside the coach, Lee DeForest. Wes Jessman, assistant coach, former Garrett County head coach. And John Hardin goes back door there, and no good as Dunbar's defense caught up with it. Rebound. It's the Bulldogs of Dunbar. Williams with the basketball here for the Bulldogs. Coach Scott Chalk. I believe this is what his third year over at Dunbar. Is it third or fourth already?
Yeah, Scott
Come
Chalk
over from Franklin County, or yeah, was it Franklin County?
Yeah, it was. He's been in the business a long time, and it's fun to watch him. He's always had a great team. Always does a good job with his teams.
Ball on the baseline there for Dunbar, and ball knocked loose, but there's a pickup and a putback. Justin Keller. Keller getting it done.
Maybe that'll get Dunbar started. They finished one of those little floaters. They're trying a 1-3-1 here.
Miller got that basket on the other end for Hardin. Keller swings over here to the left side. Nowhere to go. Back to Keller. And Keller gonna work it back out top. Is Dunbar gonna take a long three? Williams short. That was beyond NBA range, Coach.
Yeah, that was a deep shot. I'm sure Coach Chalk would like to have that one back. Oh, yeah.
Traveling. Yeah, he got his wish. They're going to have it back.
Yeah, that jab step, right. A lot of young players pick up their pivot foot before they put the basketball down. It's a travel every time. The only time it's not a travel, if you ever watch the NBA, but,
Here we go. Dunbar with the basketball. 6:23 left to go here in the first half of play. I'm William Warfield. That's the coach, Lee DeForest, here with me.
I'm the broadcaster tonight, William. It was fun. I guess this is what the coaches do when they're out of the business a little bit, but still an assistant.
You're starting your retirement early. (22-9) our score. We'll at least give you something to think about whenever you are done. You're a young guy, so you still got a while, I'm sure.
Well, thank you. Make sure you tell my wife that.
3-point basket there for Miller for John Hardin. Don't forget, we got Lexington Catholic Holy Cross coming up next. Gary Ball will have the play call with you with that one. And that should be a good game. Of course, it's hard to beat Catholic here at home.
Yeah, they just cut the lead to 10. They got a defensive stop. Let's see if they can make a little run of their own here.
John Hardin with the basketball. Deep three. No good. 22-12 our score. Don't you think since they got the three-pointer that they should have like the 5-pointer and maybe a 10-pointer there or something like that?
I think they did that. They used to do that on MTV, didn't they?
Yeah, they used to, didn't they?
Did you see that inbounds play, the nice lob? They've got a little bit of cut into the lead here. Williams
trying to go right to the rack, and he's going to be fouled.
Yeah, I mean, you want your players to stop the drive. The ideal situation is he doesn't get in there, but you want him to try to set up to take the charge. Worst case scenario, a guy like Williams, if you come in there and jump into him or slap down, a lot of times he'll get the and one. Worst case, he gets to the free throw line. So you'd like to see your players slide in there and try to take the charge.
We want to send a shout out to all the people watching tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is a big game between the Bulldogs, talking about John Hardin and Paul Lawrence Dunbar here from Lexington. Down to 5 minutes left to go here in the first half of play. Honored to be in the presence of Coach Lee DeForest.
Thank you.
The Princeton offense, is that right, Coach?
Yeah, that's right. We won a few games doing that, but I didn't invent it. A nice and one there.
Well,
Pete
you
Carrill,
certainly perfected it.
let's say I perfected a good stolen version of it. There's no way in the world I would take credit. It'd be like trying to take credit for the flex offense or something. A lot of guys came before me. They put it out there. I adapted a part of it for the group that we had, and it was a lot of fun. And I'm so good at it now that I'm out of a head coaching job, and I'm over here broadcasting. So.
I'm going to send a shout out to Mickey Gilly watching back down at John Hardin. Sound like didn't there used to be a country guy named Mickey Gilly?
I think you're the master of music a little more than I am.
I don't know.
I'm pretty boring. I like basketball and basketball. So.
Sound like a country superstar I used to listen to.
Nice ball fake.
Zoom shot, no good. Rebound, how about that? Keller.
Yeah. That just kills you if you're a John Hardin fan, because you had a good stop on D and you don't come up with the rebound, and you've got a guy, you have the better athletes in there. It's almost 1-on-3. It just, it happens. You the ball slipped out of his hands, but it just sort of kills you there.
That Keller kid, he can hoop, Coach.
Oh, yeah, he can play. You got a lot of good players out here. And it's going to come down to that. Basketball's a game of mistakes. You try not to make little easy ones there that cost your team there.
The ball comes in play. John Hardin with it. I'm William Warfield. That's the Coach Lee DeForest. Gary Ball have the next game. Holy Cross and Lexington Catholic. Jump shot. No good. Williams clears off the rebound for Dunbar. Williams giving it up here to Keller. Keller going to drop it off to Hollingsworth. Back out top to Williams. Williams going to go inside the paint, and it's going to be a blocking foul called against the Bulldogs of John Hardin.
Yeah, and that probably was a block, but that's the right mentality. Now they're doing the right thing. They just have to do a better job of executing it, because when Williams goes in there, drives hard, you want your players to rotate over to take the charge. He's just going to have to get there a little sooner. And, they're doing the right things. They're getting stops. They gave up that little easy layup there last possession, but they're getting stops. On the offensive end, they're shooting 15-foot pull-ups, and I'd like to see them try to get to the rim. See what they can do there.
1 and 2 from the line there for Williams. By the way, Dunbar from here on out will be in the bonus here left here in the first half of play. Back down the other way, and Keller almost comes up with another one there. How about this Keller kid for Dunbar?
Man, he's playing hard. You've done a lot of Lexington Catholic games. You've seen that 2-2-1 zone press that they just played. Almost got him a turnover there.
26-16 our score. Dunbar trying to get the ball. Or excuse me, John Hardin trying to get the ball in. Dunbar comes up with the ball. Williams came up with it. Williams tried to go behind the back and draws the blocking foul again here.
Man, is he quick and strong. He changes directions as well as anybody I've seen, and he's hard to slide in front of. Again, we got players doing the right thing, trying to take the charge, just not getting there.
He's got a boxing
kind of like me 10, 20 years ago, maybe. But he's very athletic and on the run, very hard to guard. And, the biggest problem right now, if you're a John Hardin fan, we've got to get better shots on the other end and not turn it over.
I understand they used to call you the prototype. What was that all about?
I don't know. Had a lot of good nicknames. That one's probably a story left for another day. But, no, listen, the main thing here is this is a 2-2-1 zone. You know, it's a prototypical zone, if you want to use that phrase. A lot of teams play it, and Hardin's got to do a better job and be stronger with the basketball. They're not being aggressive. When teams press you, you don't want to be passive. You want to attack them for layups because you've got them spread all over the court.
Want to thank Traditional Bank for putting on such a great event here at Lexington Catholic. Oh, we got slippage here on the court. Young man went down.
You know, and that's a good job, I'm sorry, by the official not to call a travel on the slip there and to give him the opportunity to call a timeout. I know even if you're a Dunbar fan, that's probably what you're upset about, but there was a wet spot there in the court, and Dunbar was able to retain possession.
Again, want to thank everybody for tuning in today. Bryan Station, they moved on to the Final Four. Congratulations to Coach Johnson and the Bryan Station defenders for moving on, and they'll face the winner of this ball game. It's going to be either Dunbar or it's going to be John Hardin, one of the two. And that game, Marty, you know, either one of these two teams will have a good matchup with Bryan Station.
Yeah, and, you know, Coach Johnson does a great job with Station. I don't know if you remember, they had that 2-point lead. He called that timeout. They came out and executed underneath out-of-bounds play that put them up double possessions, put them up 4 points. Such a nice play call, so late in the game, and able to pull out a win. They've been winning a lot of close games lately, William. It'll be a great matchup with whoever wins this game.
It was, you know, that was really a coaching battle, too, that last game. And Coach Johnson won as we get a layup good there for John Hardin. And, but yeah, Coach Johnson may have won the battle today against, well, obviously he won the battle because he came out with the win, but what a coaching job there is he took timeouts at the right time, and it was, you know, he earned his keep today.
Oh, yeah, both coaches did a great job. Rhodes as well, leading his team back when they had that deficit. So 2-3 zone here by John Hardin. It's kept Dunbar out of the paint here when they switch defenses. Made it a little bit more difficult.
Bulldogs of Dunbar with the basketball. Hollingsworth with it. He gives it up to Williams. They swing it over here to the left side. Ball going to be over back. Violation called against the Bulldogs of Dunbar.
That's just, God, you hate to see that when you're coaching. I mean, you know, they're in a 2-3, they're in a zone. You know, the worst thing that should happen is we miss a shot. They're not pressuring you, just move the ball around and get a shot. You shouldn't turn the ball over against the zone.
28-18 our score. PLD with the lead. The dog pound. Watching from all over the place, I understand, during the holidays. There's a three, that one's good.
What a shot. Dunbar, unusual there. They play a trap 2-3 zone. Both coaches switching up. Both coaches switching up defenses. And that 3-point shot, you can see Coach Chalk over there a little bit upset with his team, I guess, not getting a hand up on recognizing who the shooter was, but they played a little 2-3. Both teams switching up defenses, both teams feeling each other out. It's still a 7-point game. It's still anybody's game. Exciting to see what happens here as we end the first half.
Well, we do want to thank White, Greer, and Maggard Orthodontics for all their support here on the network. They're our title sponsor here on PrepSpin, and you see the HD quality that you're getting back at home. That's all thanks to White, Greer, and Maggard Orthodontics for all your braces needs. They got that Invisalign technology, Coach. It's kind of like having braces without braces, if you will, and you can get that at White, Greer, and Maggard Orthodontics. Reach out to our good friends over there. Follow them on Twitter as well at WGM Orthodontics, at WGM Orthodontics, and let them know. Tell them thank you for putting on such a fine broadcast tonight.
Look at this, 1-3-1 zone. You can clearly see it. I'll be interested to see how Dunbar attacks it. Usually look for skip passes over the top. Diagonal passes to the opposite block a lot of times are open. Let's see what happens here.
Bulldogs of Dunbar trying to get back on the board. They do, a three.
What a shot.
Vincent hit that one. So here we go, 31-21, back to a 10-point lead for Dunbar, and that's going to fall for John Hardin. What a shot. That was just power.
That was very strong. I think if you ever ask him if he meant to bank that, it almost looked like he came across the lane with the intent to drop that pass off. What just happened with the substitution there? But they, what the official should have done here, William, is stop the kid from shooting the free throw, because as it stands, they had the kid had the basketball when the player ran across the free throw lane. So by rule, once the shooter has the basketball, you can't step into the lane. But on the other hand, the player that stepped across the lane was supposed to be out of the basketball game. So I'm interested to see what the call is here, because the mistake was made by they shouldn't have given the player the ball until they had 5-on-5.
Right. So here we go. Free throw up off the back of the iron. Dunbar will have the rebound. Hollingsworth. And the ball knocked out of play. It'll stay with the Bulldogs of Dunbar.
You got John Hardin here in a 2-3 zone. Last possession, they were in a 1-3-1. They're trying to change defenses. You have to do that against a good team like Dunbar. Try to keep them off balance, while you have to locate the shooters if they're going to play zone a little bit better. Williams, obviously, and they have some other shooters. So
again, we got another whistle here on the court. Foul.
It's interesting to watch both teams. You have John Hardin in his zone, but they're playing it almost like a man. They're coming beyond the three-point line and almost matching up. And then since they're doing that, Dunbar's just putting their head down and treating it as a man-to-man and attacking the lane. So nice play by Dunbar.
Free throw no good. Hollingsworth missed from the line. That was a bonus situation for Dunbar. 31-23. John Hardin with the basketball. 1 minute left to go here in the half. Jump shot. Falls down.
What a fundamental shot off the glass. That was nice.
31-25. The lead is down to 6, and boy, the hustle here from the Bulldogs of John Hardin.
The coach is taking out, I think, number 14. You're playing against a zone. You want to swing the ball, but you don't want to swing the ball without looking. Just throwing an automatic pass, and that's what happened there.
Dunbar may hold for the last shot here. 35 seconds left to go in this first half. William Warfield, that's the coach, Lita Forrest, giving you all the insight tonight. Coach, is it your hopes to be a head coach again at the high school level?
Yeah, I think I think anybody that's been in coaching and been a head coach would love to be a high school head coach again, especially in Kentucky. But you have to take what the good Lord puts in front of you. I've been lucky to be where I'm at today, and I love being part of the staff as an assistant. Just being around the game is what I want to do and help in any way that I can. So you have .9 here. I'd look for the lob to Darius. Yeah, good defense.
That's going to do it for the first half. 31-25, a 6-point lead for Paul Lawrence Dunbar heading into the locker room. We'll be back here with more on PrepSpin.com. Well, Coach, we begin the second half of play here at Lexington Catholic High School. It's the traditional bank classic here live on PrepSpin.com. Night vision. And we're ready to rock it. Here is Keller is going to inbound the ball here for Dunbar. He gets it into Lewis. Lewis set down most of that second quarter, didn't he, Coach?
Yeah, he did. You see in a 2-3 zone opening up. I'd look for the lob maybe early.
Here's Lewis 3.
Boom.
We got a push off underneath. I think it's going to go the other way. Keller may have pushed off there. Nope, they're going to give it on Dontel Brown, number 4 there for Dunbar. All into play. Here comes John Hardin up the court. They're moving right to left on your screen. They're in the white with the red trim. The Bulldogs of Paul Lawrence Dunbar, they're in the black with the red trim. Or, well, I guess you could call that a trim up there up top, Coach, couldn't you?
Yeah. I mean, why not, Will?
Just red and black.
Yeah. Well, early on, you had both teams. John Hardin went back into a zone, which worked for them at the end of the first half there. And you saw on offense here, John Hardin sort of just attacking the pressure, which is what you want him to do. He just put his head down and went to the basket. And while he wasn't able to finish the layup, he did create the rebound opportunity, and they got fouled. They're going to have to make free throws if they want to stay in here with Dunbar, but see what happens here against the zone.
Here we go, Lewis with the basketball. He's going to drop it off here to Williams, over to the left side of Hollingsworth, back into Keller underneath there. Up no good. And here comes John Hardin.
Dunbar just playing tight man-to-man, just trying to take John Hardin out everything they want to do. You see a triple baseline screen there.
Layup no good. Well, double pump shot that was pretty close to being a layup there was no good. Is there such a thing as being close enough to be a layup?
Yeah, that's sort of.
He kept
that's
going
one of those,
up, sky in there.
Yeah, that's one of those extended layups, sort of like a floater. But, John Hardin, first 2 possessions against this pressure, they've sort of just put their head down and went to the basket and drawn the foul. So, Dunbar, if they're going to play this pressure, they need to rotate over for the charge or make it more difficult to get into the lane.
You want to send a shout out to Moesha. She says she's checking out the game tonight and checking out Hollingsworth. Speaking of, Dunbar with the basketball. Williams has it. Jump shot, free throw line, drains it.
Nice move. Just too easy. Crossover, pull up, 15, hard to guard.
John Hardin with the basketball. Dunbar knocking it loose there as Lewis came in there quick on the defense. Almost came up with it. Ball into play. John Hardin with it. 6:25 left to go, third quarter of play. That one misses. Williams comes off with a rebound. Williams going back the other way. Lewis now with it. Back over to Williams. Thought about 3. Pulls it back. Crossover dribble. Makes his way to the glass and lays it up and in. And then he looks back and says, I got you, man. I got you.
And what you like about that is, if you remember in the first half when I said I'd like to see a jump stop by Williams with the strong finish, and he did exactly that. He has he's got a variety of moves and finishes in his game.
Little Scottie Pippen out there, isn't he?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, tough to guard, strong driver.
The other way. He tried to get it over there to Williams, coach, and I'm sorry I interrupted you there, but
no, that's the right play. You just have to make the play. That's the right idea, but you got to finish the play there, Will.
5:35 left to go here in this third quarter of play. We just got the second half started, and another whistle.
I'm interested to see which official wins out the battle of who fouled whom here on the latest edition. Get together and come up with it.
They talk it through, though, don't they?
Yeah, and I don't mind that at all. I don't think any coaches mind as long as you get it right. But if you set a precedent for that, you have to do that the entire game for both teams.
Gave me an idea for a commercial.
That's scary. But let's see what happens here as Dunbar brings it up against the zone again.
Ball over in the left wing over there for the Bulldogs of Dunbar. Now Keller with a jump shot, and Keller drains it.
8-point game, sort of getting into danger territory here for John Hardin. They got to put some points on the board.
Dunbar picking up the foul, Coach.
Yeah, that's tough. He sort of lowered his shoulder, did a spin move there. You'd like to see your defensive player just keep his hands straight up and there'd be no foul. But as it is, he came down and fouled him and put him back on the free throw line. Their third trip to the free throw line here early in the second half. You can see they're coming out with a more aggressive mindset.
37-28 our score. Paul Orange of Dunbar with the lead. Lewis with it up top. Swings over to the left side, back out top here to Lewis. And we're going to lose the ball out of play.
Yeah, I know, and I know Coach Chalk's happy with, they're trying to get the ball inside. The last two possessions they've scored on, Dunbar was able to get the ball to the high post, and they were unable to that time and ended up turning it over.
John Hardin again loses the handle. It's going to go right back to PLD.
Good defense again there by Dunbar. Let's see what happens here. Dunbar's zone attack. If they keep going to the high post or if they do something different.
Keller to Williams. Williams looking inside. Yeah, Lewis. Good ball movement and a layup.
Nice job.
Williams.
Got it ball short corner there. Hard to guard in his zone if you let the ball get there, and Williams able to finish on the dive from the high post.
39-28 our score now. There's Dunbar double pump, or excuse me, that's John Hardin with a double pump. You know, it's almost confusing, Coach. Obviously, we got the home white uniforms there for John Hardin, but it's almost confusing seeing the Bulldogs taking on the Bulldogs, and they all wear the, if Dunbar was at home, they'd be wearing jerseys similar.
Yeah, that's unusual that you mentioned that. You've done a lot better job than I would have on the play-by-play, keeping that straight. And I think that Scott is going to, Coach Chalk is going to speak to his team about trying to do a better job of when these guys drive in, guys, get your hands up and make them score over us. Stop trying to slap the ball out of their hands or block their shot.
Our score 39-30.
There's the high post again. That's
Williams.
too easy.
Williams.
I mean, that's just way too easy.
Swish.
And they're up 11. It's kind of getting close to, a little shaky here. If you're a John Hardin fan, they're going to have to score some points here.
There's a three.
Hey, there you
Falls
go.
in.
That'll keep it a little closer. Now, you got to keep the ball out of the high post now. They've been doing that constantly. You'll see Williams flash right to the elbow here in about 2 seconds.
Right up off the glass, and a foul going to be called.
And you know what happened there, William? They did do a good job of keeping the ball out of Williams' hands there at the elbow, but the problem is by doing that, the middleman jumped up as well, which opened up the baseline. So I think they need one of their guards to take away the high post flash and keep the big down home on number 4 there behind the zone. The guard needs to take away the high post. The center moved up the lane, and that opened up the back side of the zone. This little set has been ran 1,000 years by Coach Chalk and everybody else, and it's giving teams a hard time.
42-33 our score. John Hardin with it.
It's a 10-point game here, William. Let's see what happens. See what Hardin's able to do.
Playing the number 3 team in the state, John Hardin is. John Hardin, top 20 team as well, and we're going to have a foul called against John Hardin.
Maybe I tell you what though, if I'm a John Hardin fan, I don't mind that foul call. They had 3 defenders there back, and that probably would have been a layup on the other end if they hadn't have called the foul. So, you don't want fouls called, but at the same time, that was actually probably a good foul.
43-33. Paul Lawrence Dunbar. They have the basketball. Lewis gives it off here to Kelly. Back out top here to Williams. Back over to Lewis.
See, they're in a 1-3-1 set here, William. It's more of a
wing.
Yeah, and they're letting the wings take the low block.
Hollingsworth's been on the bench there for a while too, Coach. He hasn't been in the ball games very much at all here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I guess Coach is trying to let him get his mind right when he comes back in. I'll be interested to see how Dunbar handles this just slight adjustment of trying to protect the high post that John Hardin's doing.
The Bulldogs of Dunbar, that is, draws another foul.
Yeah, that's an interesting call.
Coach, you've been out there on the floor, wouldn't you?
I don't know advantage, disadvantage of that. He's just dribbling around. He's not making a move to the basket. But, no, I usually didn't say anything to the officials other than good job because, it's a tough job, probably the toughest job out there. So.
John Hardin trying to come back here against Dunbar, but Dunbar keeps getting second chance opportunities under the glass. That time, Mack clears it out, but throws it away.
And as a coach, you love the effort, but you can't make those kind of mistakes when you're playing Dunbar. They'll just kill you.
Lewis. Oh, that hit her off his teammate's head. Right off the cranium, Coach.
Speaking of mistakes, yeah.
Lots of ball movement here for Dunbar. Double pump.
Tough shot there. Definitely a makeable shot, but 10-point lead against the zone with a minute and a half in the quarter.
Oh, another.
It probably was a foul there, but the guy's trying to split a pick and roll by going behind his back. You don't really see that very often from high school players. And it does put one more foul, and Dunbar will be in the bonus. So John Hardin will be shooting on the next foul. There's a minute 22 to go here in the third quarter. So I think John Hardin do like they've been doing all half and try to attack the basket, get a foul call. That way they can get back to the free throw line and cut into this 10-point lead with the clock stopped. So I think that they'll be trying to drive it hard and try to get into the paint here.
All
like
right.
that.
Another good shot there by John Hardin.
Yeah, and
that's
exactly what they were trying to do, get it into the paint, get a good strong jump stop off 2 feet. Here Dunbar attacked the zone going baseline there. That's a hard foul. Yeah, that's, and different coaches, William, they have different philosophies on what you want to do. I've heard some guys talk, and in a 2-3 zone, you can help across, you can help down, but you never want to help up because if you're in the zone and you help up, a lot of times there's a player behind you and there's nobody to take that pass, which is exactly what happened there. They helped up the lane on the drive and opened up the back line, and that guy, 21, was able to catch it and finish there.
44-35 our score. Paul Lawrence Dunbar with a lead. As the Bulldogs bring the ball up to court here for John Hardin. William Warfield, the coach, Lee DeForest here. Coach.
Yeah, it's the third time they've ran the America's Play, and it's America's Play is called America's Play, William, because everyone in America runs it. And, they've probably seen that play 1,000 times. We saw it last game in Bryan Station.
Here comes the Bulldogs off the turnover, going all the way back the other end, laying it up with the left hand's good.
God, that just kills you.
I didn't catch the young man's name. Did you, Coach?
I did not. I was sort of looking for that myself.
We need to find that young man off of
because he's made a big difference here late.
Yes.
With the run out, the energy he's playing with. He finished the play, got fouled on the back line, put his free throw in, and he's played well for him.
We're going to see if we can find number 21 there for you for Dunbar. As we're working on pulling that up here for you right now. 21 is Jared Gadd. He's a guard. He's just a freshman.
Wow.
Just a freshman. Getting some good experience today against a tough John Hardin team. There's a shot at the buzzer. Oh, that one hit the box there on the backboard, but a little bit too hard.
Yeah, for a freshman, he's stepped up for him and made a big impact here in the third quarter. So you had both teams sort of feeling each other out. Dunbar came into the third quarter with a 6-point lead, able to extend that to an 11-point lead now. And, at the same time, Hardin able to create a little bit of a foul situation. They're in the bonus already, starting the fourth quarter, so I think they're just going to keep attacking the glass, keep attacking the paint, keep that attacking mentality. As you said earlier, known as a football school, I think they've got to keep attacking, trying to get into the lane, and try to finish some of those shots, get to the free throw line, make their free throws, cut into the 11-point lead, and then if you're John Hardin, if they're still in that zone, you can keep moving the basketball until you get, who you want to have the ball at the high post. I think Williams would be the answer. Try to get the ball to him at the high post or him on the baseline. Let him create for other players. He's done a good job of that today. He's also done a good job of finishing plays on his own. So interested to see this last 8 minutes. If this lead, if they get down to 6 minutes and this lead is still double digits, I think Hardin will be forced to press. And we'll see how Dunbar handles that pressure. I'm not sure if you can press him, William. I'm not sure if you can pressure Dunbar, but we'll see.
46-35 our score as we put 8 minutes back up on the clock. And here we go. We're down the final stretch in this one. Paul Lawrence Dunbar here in Lexington, Kentucky, the number 3 team in the state, trying to hold on as they go backdoor. John Hardin does. No good there. Short on the alley-oop attempt. Lewis comes out of there quickly. Swings it over here to Gadd. 3 on the way. Yes, sir! From the right wing.
I'm glad you looked his name up. Man, what a difference he's made. 6 points here in the last, 90 seconds in a tight game. So he's really stepped up.
Jared Gadd with the 3 and back the other way. John Hardin answers. Smith with that one. Here's Lewis. Lewis goes to his right. Hands off here to Williams. They swing it over there to the far side to Hollingsworth, who's back in the ball game. Lewis again, back to Hollingsworth. Hollingsworth looks inside. This is Williams. Williams jump shot, good. He had to work hard.
Yeah, just too good, too fundamental. Caught 2 feet, jump stop, up fake, and then he went right back up against the shot blocker. Kept the basketball high and finished off the glass.
Williams loves this court here at Lexington Catholic. Big time plays here in this gym for that young man. 3 straight away, no good. John Hardin with the rebound, put back up and in. 51-40, it's 11-point ball game. Here comes Lewis of Dunbar quickly.
Yeah, they're switching up now. They're trying to go man-to-man here.
Williams behind the back. Double pump, and couldn't get it to fall, but he did draw the foul.
Yeah, they're trying to go man-to-man, switch up their defense. They've been playing zone most of the game. Be interesting to see what Dunbar does. Up 11, 6.5. 2 free throws coming for Williams. They're in control of this game. John Hardin's going to have to do something to get back in, cut the lead into single digits, cut it down to 6 or 8 here with 4 minutes to go and get back in the game. They can't let Dunbar continue on this little mini run they've got going.
Williams at the line here for the Bulldogs. 53-40 our score.
Big possession here, William.
Yes, sir, it is. John Hardin needs a basket. They got one, plus they're going to go to the line.
Well, I mean, if you could draw up there's not a better thing for John Hardin. I guess maybe getting fouled and making it on a three-pointer, but this is great for them. They're able to not only cut into the lead with the two-pointer, they're getting the free throw now, and they can set their defense. They're switching into a man-to-man now, and you know, Dunbar, they're going to handle this man-to-man. They've seen it all year long against very quality opponents here in the 11th region, and it'll be interesting to see what Williams does mano-a-mano against man-to-man defense.
Free throw, good. 53-43. John Hardin's cut it back down to 10. Here comes Dunbar. Hollingsworth, coach wanted to travel there for John Hardin. Gag got the ball, and he tried to get over to Williams, and the ball goes out of play. It's going to go back to John Hardin.
Yeah, that was about 3 turnovers on one possession against John Hardin's diamond press. It's just a 1-2, 1-1 zone press. Most teams play it, and Hardin has to play it to cut into the lead.
Hollingsworth, Gadd, Williams, Brown, and Lewis out there for Dunbar right now.
You know, that's a foul. You know, you're playing against Dunbar. I'm sorry, you're playing against John Hardin. They're in the zone. I'm sorry. Let me get this straight.
You're not
I'm
in the zone
frustrated.
right now,
Listen, I'm frustrated with, you know, you're Dunbar. Don't foul the guy 20 feet from the basket and give him free throws, even though he didn't cash out on him.
53-43 our score. Here's Hollins. Hollingsworth going over to the right side.
Yeah, I was out of the zone there for a minute, but, you know, on a pick and roll that's set 4 feet above the three-point line, you can hedge, but let's just go under it and keep them solid, keep them in front. Don't foul, because, again, John Hardin is trying to get fouled. They're trying to get to the line. They're trying to stop the clock.
Tavion, just a junior, by the way. I thought he was a senior, but he is just a junior.
Wow. He's a heck of a player.
Yeah, he's got offers on the table from Clemson and a bunch of the bigger schools as well, Coach.
Well, he's got a nice stroke, handles the ball well, very quick. He's the primary reason when you talk about Dunbar, you talk about ball pressure, you talk about defense. I think it starts with him. And just a junior, a heck of a talent.
Well, we do want to step out for a second. Thank our good friends over at White, Greer, and Maggard Orthodontics for all their support here on the network. They're our title sponsor here at PrepSpin.
Hi, I'm Lee, and I'm happy with my smile. And I'm other Lee, and I ain't happy with my smile. I went to White, Greer, and Maggard, and they fixed my smile for me. And I never smile, and that's why I'm having some alone time here at dinner. I love that I can go to White, Greer, and Maggard with all my questions. And I love that I don't have to brush my teeth at night. Don't be like this, me. Go to White, Greer, and Maggard for a picture-perfect smile.
Back here, Lexington Catholic High School, William Warfield alongside the coach, Lee DeForest. And Coach, you know, I built up the coach down there in Jessamine County. I think I want to build you up here in Fayette
Yeah,
County.
just keep building me up. You know, if I can get one of those contracts, you see the pressure there forcing John Hardin into the turnover. A little bit out of control there.
55-43 our score. We're here in the fourth and final period, at least we think, barring an overtime.
Yeah, Dunbar's going to control the game. They've got the basketball. They're up 12. I think there's going to be a lot of cutting and screening. No bad shots here. Coach Chalk's done this a long time. He knows with a 12-point lead, all we got to do, guys, is take layups, move the ball. They're going to have to start fouling us. Nice layup. That's what you want.
All right. Another basket there by the Bulldogs.
They got exactly what they wanted, William.
57-43 our score. A floater there for John Hardin goes down. Lewis being double teamed as we got the full court press going on here from John Hardin now. Dunbar was able to break it. Hollingsworth with it. Lewis. Back over We go here to Williams. Williams looking inside. Good pass to Lewis, and Lewis has it rejected. No, sir. Not in that house, they said. Pierce with the block.
I believe that was Hollingsworth, but you got to go up stronger than that when you have the ball under the rim.
Ball out top. Brown gives it over to Kelly, over to Williams. Williams throws it wildly up top. That was a dangerous pass.
Yeah, that was. You don't want to see that.
Got a timeout here on the floor, Coach. We'll take one with him. Again, today's game being brought to you by White, Greer, and Maggard Orthodontics. Check them out, WGMortho.com. Tweet at them as well at WGM Orthodontics. I want to thank them for being our title sponsor here on PrepSpin. All Sports over there in Fayetteville Mall. If you see it on the field, you see it on the court, you can pick it up at All Sports. Dunbar 2 losses on the season, Coach. They lost in the King of the Bluegrass to Trinity out of Louisville. Trinity's also in the bracket here. And then Evanston, Illinois. Obviously, Evanston must have a really good team to beat Paul Lawrence Dunbar this season.
Yeah, a lot of good teams throughout the country, and you know that's why Coach Chalk is taking his team out of state to play against the best competition, and it's only going to make them better come tournament time.
Well, Dunbar holds victories over 3 of the remaining teams left to go here in this tournament. They hold a win over Lexington Catholic, over Bryan Station. They lost against Trinity, so they're 2-1 so far, Coach. And anybody else there? Nope.
Yeah, I think, as you pointed out, I think it'll be Trinity. I think, Bryan Station's a very nice team, but Dunbar seems to be on another level right now and playing really well. So it'll be tough to beat them. Interesting, too, to see Lexington Catholic and Luke Johnson play. Excited to see that. Coached him a little bit in AAU. Great kid, love his family, and excited to see that.
We're going to have a blocking foul called against Dunbar. It's going to go against Gadd, it looks like. Or is that Kelly? That's Kelly. Yep, that's Kelly. That's his 4th of the ball game. And John Hardin in a double bonus from here on out.
Yeah, and that's what you want if you're John Hardin. You want to get to the line. You want to stop the clock. You want to cut into the lead. You've got to set your pressure up. You got 1 turnover early against Dunbar with the press, but as you pointed out, William, you know that Dunbar's seen a lot of different presses already this season, so it'll be tough to turn them over. It's going to come down to free throws.
58-45 our score, 4:07 left to go here in this one. Gary Ball will have Holy Cross and Lexington Catholic coming up next here for you on PrepSpin and Night Vision. And those last 2 games tonight are going to be something special as well, especially that last one. I think everybody's looking forward to it. Everybody in the state will be tuning in for that one, that Trinity taking on Henry Clay.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting matchup. I look forward to hearing from it and watching it myself.
58-46. Make that 58-47 now. Lewis bringing the ball up the court here for the Bulldogs of Dunbar. Hollingsworth had a touch. They give it over to Brown.
Big possession here, William. Big possession. Got to cut it into single digits. They fouled there again late.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's been twice in a row where 15 has anticipated correctly where the ball is going to be. The pass is being made, but he's about half a second late coming up with the steal. And his momentum carries him into the player, and that's a foul. But the right instinct.
Swish from the line there from Lewis. Lewis going to take another crack at it. Yes, sir. 60-47. Ball out of play. Knocked out again. Quickness there. Well, you're talking about a fast tempo game that we got possibly coming up between Bryan Station and Dunbar. Now, Bryan Station lost to Dunbar back on December 3rd, second game of the season, 84-59, though. There's a 3. That one tried to bank in, but the bank had a lid on it. No deposits today.
Again, I think you want to. There's enough time left. Get to the rim, get and one, get to the free throw line.
Gary said those balls are flat.
That might be it.
Drew Bledsoe in the house, huh? Gary, a big New England fan, I heard. Rebound, Dunbar. Deflategate. Williams back the other way.
Isn't he tough?
And he gets that to fall in.
God, isn't he a tough matchup?
And we got another whistle here. Someone tells me this last 3-11 is going to take a while, Coach.
Yeah, they've already put both teams into the double bonus, and John Hardin, they keep attacking the basket, and they've done that the whole second half, but got to put their free throws in. And, maybe you have an answer. I don't. Not very many teams do, it seems like. How do you come back against Dunbar? They've got one of the best players in the state in Williams, and they've got 2 other guards that are Division I prospects as well. How do you come back? Do you turn them over? How do you? Hope they miss, I guess? I don't know what you can do.
Dunbar has won all their games that they've been ahead in heading into the fourth quarter, by the way. 62-48 our score. Here comes John Hardin.
Well, as soon as I brag on them about being able to handle the ball, they turn it over right on cue. But I think it's going to be difficult to maintain that pace and turn them over much. You can see Coach Chalk shaking his head. He knows his team's better than that, and he's telling his buddy, take care of the ball. We have the lead. Make solid plays.
Coach Chalk's got a great opportunity this year coming out of the 11th region. And we got a charge going to be called against John Hardin.
Yeah, that's an easy call. I mean, the kid had good position on defense. You can't extend your arm to create space. You just have to try to go up with it, and that's an easy call.
Dunbar had the basketball. Hollingsworth with it. Double team being applied, and he was hammered, but looks like he put the licking on the defender.
And you see Coach the coach of John Hardin, he's trying to explain that it's the same call. He feels as if John Hardin's player extended his arm and drew the foul, but he has to understand that it happened after the initial foul. That was the difference here. And, he's upset. He's trying to get any call you can here down 14 against a great Dunbar team.
62-48 our score, 2:49 left to go in this ball game. Winner will take on Bryan Station, who won the first Elite Eight game tonight here in the 2015 Traditional Bank Holiday Classic. Big crowd here tonight. Hollingsworth going to the line here for the double bonus. First one, good. Well, he's such a good kid there, Hollingsworth.
Just a junior?
Just a junior. Second free throw good. 64-48. I heard he's all about the classroom too, Coach. That he's all A's and B's is what I've heard. 64-48 our score is John Hardin. They were going for a thunder dunk right there.
Yeah, he took off a little bit early to try the dunk attempt, but still going strong. And Coach Chalk wants his players to rotate over. You can see him gesturing to them. Hey, when you see him driving like that, we got to rotate over and take the charge. But, what you said about Hollingsworth, it's not surprising. I find a lot of times these students that excel on the court, they also excel in the classroom. I find that almost to be the rule, not the exception. I know a lot of great players also do well in the classroom, and I'm glad you pointed that out about Hollingsworth.
64-48 our score. You're an English teacher as well, is that correct?
That is, even though I'm not sure I teach the Southern the way I should, but the way my accent comes out. But, yeah, I've been teaching English 7 years.
64-49 now as Dunbar moving the ball back up the court. Hollingsworth with it, gets it up ahead there to Gadd back out top. Or excuse me, that was Williams that had a touch. Gadd's playing the low post right now. Comes back out top, kind of trying to set a screen, kind of open it up. And laying it up and in was Lewis. 66-49, Coach.
Yeah, Coach Chalk has the only layups. He only wants his team shooting layups on offense. You saw Williams turn down a shot, and that's what makes him, a special player. He knows he's great, and a lot of players would have taken that shot trying to, score. He brought the ball back out, and his team was able to get the layup. He's his special player.
What a shot and a finish. Williams again. Little Scottie Pippen, I'm telling you.
He's a lot to deal with. And, the play before that, he didn't have the lane, so he brought it out and set up. This play, he had the lane, and he jump stops off 2 feet and just makes an and one. Just, what's it saying?
He got the and one. I don't know, Coach. What are you referring to there?
I feel like if there was an and one in the next game.
You're talking about Gary Ball saying over there the soup and the sandwich.
I feel like there's an and one next game. It'll be more than just an and one. That's all I'm saying.
You were talking about the soup and the sandwich, so we got to leave that up to Gary Ball. That's his trademark.
That's why I said I didn't want to say it.
Oh yeah, the prototype.
That's it. Yeah.
That's the Zija. That's right.
That's right.
He's a Moringa Olafera.
I think I can thank the Army for it, but we can thank any number of things. But appreciate it, fellas.
Layup, no good. That's something else that you're pretty passionate about. Is you're a distributor in the Zija?
Yeah, we I love it. My wife and I take it. We made some pretty good money helping folks with it as well. But as you see them finishing off this game, they just were able to extend the lead. But yeah.
Of course, our good friend Robbie Davis probably watching this game tonight. He's also a big distributor in the Zija, but.
Man, he's great. He's really helped me and my wife out, teaching us everything there is to know about that entire industry that I had no idea even existed before he introduced me to it. So it's something my wife and I do as a supplement to our income, teaching, and she's finishing school. So
71-49 our score, Coach, and 45 seconds left to go here. Dunbar going back to the line.
Yeah, Dunbar had they had a 6-point lead going into half. And you could tell John Hardin was struggling to score from the very beginning. I think we spoke about they have to finish layups. They have to finish points in the paint. And it's a credit to Dunbar's defense. They kept them out of the lane, and they were able to turn them over and get some easy transition points. And John Hardin has a great team, nothing to be ashamed of there. They just played a really good Dunbar team.
Well, Jordan Brown's at the line here for Dunbar, and we got 4 other subs coming into the ball game. Looks like Kalen Whiteside coming into the game. (71-49), Coach.
Yeah, I mean,
got in there. Hold on, I'm sorry, Coach. Matthew Brown also checked into the ball game there for Dunbar. And who else we got in there? It looks like Michael Corio. And finally, Trey Homer.
Yeah, great effort by both teams all the way to the buzzer. You couldn't be more proud if you're a coach. You're not going to win them all. There's only one team in the state of Kentucky that's going to end their season with a win, and everybody has to try to get as good as they can before the tournament. And this is a good time for both teams to play some kids that maybe don't get enough minutes.
Yep.
But John Hardin had a heck of a game plan. They knew what they wanted to do. It's just difficult to simulate. How do you simulate Williams in practice? How do you get ready? You can tell your players, hey, listen, he's a good player, he's nice, but what do you do?
I forgot to mention Ben Keplinger also in there. He's a junior guard for Dunbar. He's also the young man that's in the ball game for the Bulldogs. 73-51. This one's going to go to Paul Lawrence Dunbar, Coach, and John Hardin. They'll go on and play again, but not in the winners bracket. They'll go over to the consolation bracket, and let's see who they're going to have. We can look that up real quick. Game 27. Yeah, there you go. They're going to play Cordia. That's going to be a good game. And they'll play them on tomorrow at 4
Yeah,
o'clock.
those are two. I mean, both those teams play hard. Two different styles again. you know, you have the hard man-to-man pressure of John Hardin. He's going to go up against Cordia, likes to control the pace with their great guard play. Exciting game.
What a game. That's going to do it for us, Coach. So long, everybody. Thanks again to White, Greer, and Maggard.